There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly.
What's up, folks? This is your boy, Coach Mark, and I am here tonight. Listen, this is the last night of our Transformation Thursdays, and I'm excited to have these two, not one, I'm talking about two young ladies that's going to be with me and are going to tell their story of transformation. Listen, I personally believe that transformations outwardly do not happen until there's something inwardly that happens. And there has to be a transformation of the mind, there has to be a transformation of the heart, and there has to be a transformation of the spirit. And when that transformation happens, it is demonstrated outwardly. And it shows up not only in your weight, but it shows up in how you show up at your job, how you show up with your interactions with your friends and your family members. And so when you shift your mindset, anything is liable to happen. So I'm excited, but I'm also feeling a little uneasy because this is it. This is the last night. So I brought two powerhouses in that's going to tell their story. And I believe collectively, between the two of them, they've lost over 200 pounds. Now, listen, everyone knows I've been talking about my journey and how I've been transforming. And believe me, I have been on a lot of ups and downs. I was looking at some old pictures of myself just in my journey over the last 15, 20 years. And I realized through going through coaching that it had to happen here. And when I started dealing with my mindset, when I started dealing with understanding who I was and where I wanted to go, then all things shifted. And so today we are going to hear these young ladies' story. They have a powerful story, not only individually, but collectively. So let's get to it. It's not about me tonight. It's about them. So I'm going to bring them to the forefront. Listen, I'm going to drop out just for a second because I want to be right smack in the middle of these two ladies. So hold on one second. We going to get all right. Is the gang all here?
Yes. Yeah.
Listen.
Hey, good evening, Coach Mark.
What's up?
Hi.
Listen, so I have two young ladies with me tonight. One is T. Thomas. That's what she goes by. And then we have Emily Meeks. And so we are coming today to talk about transformations. Now, let me give you a little rundown. I met T years ago when I was working in the school system in DeKalb. And she always had this wonderful personality. And then when I found out that she went to the great TSU.
Okay.
Right. And then you remember that homecoming that I saw you?
Yes.
I ain't going to talk about that because
wait a minute now.
She didn't do anything. It was all me. We ain't going to talk about it. We're going to leave that up there because I think that was like good 100. But these young ladies individually have a story to tell, and then collectively they have a story to tell. So y'all ready to get into it?
Sure. Let's get into it.
Okay. Do y'all want to give a shout out to anybody before we get started? You know, your fans and all this other stuff? Look.
Well, shout out to Sean. He's up front waiting on us to finish. He may tune in and watch too. And of course, Business Bay. I couldn't have been here without Business Bay. So thank you, Emily.
Oh, thank you too. We're kindred spirits, so that's my sister.
Okay. Well, listen, for all of you that's tuning in tonight, you know how we do it. If you have questions, if you have remarks, if there's something that hits to you, put the likes to put the hearts. Also, feel free to share when you give your remarks, and if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll post them up. We already got some people tuning in. Y'all got our fan club already showing up.
Hey, Desiree. Oh, look at it. We can see on the screen. It's cool.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So, Emily, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
Quickly tell us about your just overall journey prior to you making the shift and saying, "I need what I'm doing is not working. I got to do something different." Just kind of give us a rundown of your weight loss journey or the lack thereof.
Right. Well, for me, I have always been heavy. So, growing up, once I got to high school and graduated high school, I was a size 16 in high school. And I never knew what it meant to be small or slim. So I was always heavier. Through a series of traumatic experiences in my life, grief, failed relationships, then that kind of onset the weight. I'm an emotional eater. And so it took me a while to realize that that was the problem. However, it was the emotional eating, whether I was happy or sad, I ate. And that's just, coming from the South. I'm from Atlanta. My family's from South Carolina and Mississippi. And so anybody hear that term about being cornbread fed, that's
Ready to
me.
ready to
That's me. Just traditions and family, that's just what I was used to. And so I never really had the opportunity to understand what the value of food and what it was really used for. And so it was more of a comfort thing for me. So that's kind of how I ended up packing on a lot of weight steadily over the years. And the shift really didn't happen until I realized, A, it's going to take years to get it off. It's not going to come off immediately. I know we're in a series where we want quick fixes, but weight loss is not a quick fix. So once I got over that, then that began to start the shift. Once I realized that this is not going to be quick and I'm going to have to put in some work. And as you stated, it's a mindset. And so it wasn't until I changed my mind and got in tune with what I needed to do for me that I started my journey.
Okay. Now listen, we're gonna get into what was that moment. But let me jump to T first. Cause I saw you, you was all thick. Like come on, thick. I mean, it wasn't bad. A black man loves a nice thick woman, curvy and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Personality going on, you know. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So tell us about your journey and just up to the point before you made the decision that you were going to shift.
Well, for me, again, like Emily, I have been fat since birth. I've always been the thicker girl amongst my friends in high school and college, the taller girl. So many people wouldn't think that I was as heavy as I was. And at my highest weight that I recall, that was like 279, 280. Because I was tall. I am tall. So it didn't really bother me. I didn't have an issue with the weight because I thought it was, like you said, well proportioned. I was okay with it. Mm-hmm. However, November 2016, the bottom of my life fell out. That was a very, very, very traumatic experience for me, losing my best friend, my grandmother. And I realized then that my mindset was offset and things were not going well. I'm normally a very bubbly, happy person. I can interact with everybody. Nope, didn't want to do anything. So, of course, I'm trying to reach out to people, talking to my family, talking to my friends. And then Emily, she's always in the background talking about, well, I'm going to work out and I started this and I started that. I really did not want to hear it because she probably started months maybe even a year before I did, but that wasn't the conversation that I engaged with her in until I lost my grandmother. And then I'm like, okay, I don't like the way that I'm feeling. And she kept on saying, working out, girl, when I work out, I feel this and I release this and this, and that. Okay, I'm lazy. I'm not the one. Exercise was not my thing. I'm like, I need to try something to get out of this. So yeah, I started praying, Lord, help me. What is this? So after that, I just simply focused on what I was eating. The two of us took two totally different routes, but they work best for us. So
Yeah,
I
let's
would
stop
have
right
to
there.
say,
Wait a minute, stop that because you've said so much already. And
okay,
so one of the things that I personally believe, and I think I've said it over the weeks, is that sometimes it's good to just be at the table, around the conversation, because what the meat of the conversation may not hit you at that moment, but it leaves a deposit in your spirit. And when it's ready to grow and to spring up, then that's when it happens. And a lot of times we try to force it, or we remove ourselves from the conversation and we miss out on so many opportunities. But you also said something which I personally believe that if you're going to have a true transformation, it has to be mind, body, and spirit. And one of the things is that you said that you didn't know what was going on, but you start praying and you start saying, I need some help. God, you will have to help me figure this out. And so, Emily, what was the defining moment for you? Because you started a little bit before T. So what was the thing that said, I got to do this today. I got to make this start happening for myself.
I'm gonna be honest. It was a friend that contacted me one day and told me about the Nike app, right? And
It
with
was
competition, and at this point, oh, I can't hear. So a friend contacted me, and they had been using a particular app to chart how they, their progress and walking. And I'm like, I'm not getting outside, it's hot. And so one day I was just sitting here in one of those funks, like you said, it's the mindset shift, and I have been so hard on myself because I felt like I had been through so much. And one day I just got up and I just something clicked and said, you know what, just get out here and walk. And it was the most freeing feeling I had felt in a long time. And I believe that day I walked 3 miles before knowing it. And I just realized how much that made me feel mentally, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It just helped me so much. And so that became my therapy. Walking became my therapy. When I was feeling bad and when I was, feeling down, I didn't have anybody to talk to. It was the walk for me. I could cry on my walk, talk to myself on my walk, have my music in. Whatever I needed to do was my time. I have 2 children, small children, and so a lot of that too, trying to balance that work home life was very difficult for me. And that was the moment. It was one summer I just got up and I said, I'm doing this. And I walked and I've been doing it ever since. And so I ended up
You
doing
was like,
I was like, I'm telling you, I was outside literally walking just in my neighborhood, in my area. I just started walking. I would call Tanisha on my walks like, girl, you got to do this. She's like, I don't want to sweat. So, but
not
that
into
was
it.
Look, that she got that hair swung to the side. She's like,
swoop,
I'm not
that bang.
That bang.
So, so Emily, you started walking.
I started walking.
You found that in therapy. Tanisha, you said that you started shifting your eating habits.
Yes.
So talk to us about what was the first step, or how did you shift the eating habits?
Okay, so just like you said, out of the blue, you saw me and was like, wow, she looks totally different. I'm walking in the mall and I see a former coworker who was quite heavy the last time that I, had seen her. And I'm like, I think that so and so, but I'm not sure. And then I'm like, it is. So I'm gonna say something. So I, went up to her, hey, how you doing? What's going on? My gosh, you look wonderful. She then shared her meal plan with me. Upon researching it, it's similar to what most would consider that military diet. It is 3 days on, 4 days off with moderation. So she said, when I get home, I'll send it to you if you're really interested. And I said yes, and she did, in fact, do that. But then it took me probably another 2 months reading it like, ooh, I can't, that's it. Why? How? So once I decided, okay, fine, I bought me a cute little lunchbox.
She
And I
did.
packed my lunch and I went to school and I
did.
matched my lunch with her walking. Like, okay, you're doing that and I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
So talk to me about you said 4 days on, 3 days on, 4 days off, or vice versa.
So of course, on Pinterest, it's called the military diet, or if you Google it, and it gives you a specific amount of food or a list of ingredients that you have to consume within a 3-day period. However, it's basically a drastic calorie reduction, but I wasn't counting the calories with each individual item that I was eating. I was like, okay, they said eat the banana, I'm gonna eat the banana. They said eat the cracker, and made myself satisfied. It's not a lot of food, but this is what I have to do for these 3 days. And if I want, and the prize for this, Emily had planned a trip to Jamaica that summer. So I'm like, oh, I am not going to be the biggest one. I cannot do this.
That was our goal. We were like, I said, you know what? Because again, I'm in this mindset shift. So much is going on. I'm like, we're getting out of here. We're all going to get passports. So at that time, I hit them all up and I said, we're doing this. We got our passports. And so it became the prize at the end, to see how far we both had come. And I'll be honest, that diet thing, she shared it with me. And she was doing it. And once I saw her losing a little weight, I was like, wait a minute, I might need to add this to my walking. So I actually added that part and it boosted my metabolism. I did it for about 3 weeks. And I'll be honest, I couldn't stay on that long. That wasn't my thing. But what I did realize was, in order for me to get to where I really needed to go, I probably should get a trainer. So I got a personal trainer. Shout out to the Curvy Killer. That's my trainer. And so I started working with him and it totally transformed everything for me. So I had the food and then I started the training. So it all came together. I had to give Tanisha a shout out for that because I really wasn't thinking about what I ate. So even though I was still walking and I was mentally good, physically, I still felt like I wasn't losing weight. So it wasn't until I put those two things together for the both of us. And she's not going to say it, but she walks now too. Well, I got her exercising.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with walking. There's a lot of people that have lost a lot of weight by just simply walking. And some people think that you have to go through all these drastic means and everything.
No.
It's just making a commitment. And one of the things that really hit me, and I think I said this last week, is sometimes action does not take place at the point of decision. It happens. You have to first make a resolve with the decision that you've made. And that can come in weeks. It can come in days. But once you make a resolve, usually action takes place. And so I can't believe you tried to lose weight because I'm a quarter Trinity. I'm going to let you know. I'm a quarter Trinidadian. People. I'm not really, but I claim them as my people. And we like a good old thick woman. So you went over to the motherland trying to be skinny.
And they love me over there now. I ain't gonna lie now. I was heavier then. I was still a little heavy, but they love me in Jamaica. So I was like, I might be on to something.
Yes. They say in Africa, thickness is a sign of wealth.
Yes.
Well, I found my happy weight and I'm looking for my wealth.
Okay, okay, come on now.
Oh, it's on the way. It's all in motion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I realized too that one of the things I like to say is it's about control. And so I realized that the things that we can't control, we can't control. But you can control how people treat you. Talking about the jobs. I mean, we both taught for so long and we wanted other positions and we, went through that process and it was like, man, why isn't this breakthrough happening for us? And that kind of also was the shift for us. We started thinking bigger and we decided
Yep.
to create Focus Minds Education Group for that particular purpose. We were up 3, 4 in the morning, talking to each other, getting these ideas together, getting them out. So then it became, for me, I saw my friend going through something. I said, no, we're going to shift our mindset totally, not just with, physical, but also the mental piece. And so I realized, you got to control what you can control. And that was what I put in my mouth, and how much exercise or, what I didn't do. When I don't walk or I don't work out, I feel bad. And so it makes me get back up. So I've gone a couple of weeks, and my trainer will tell you I've gone a week or two. I actually fractured my ankle a couple of years ago. And that taught me a lot too, because I couldn't work out for like 2 months, but I could control what I ate. And so mentally, I went right back to what Tanisha told me, and I started meal prepping. So meal
Yep.
prepping is something that's also saved me. Making sure that I'm counting what I'm eating, the portion control, that is a huge deal. I will say that I did try Weight Watchers. I don't want to leave that out. I tried Weight Watchers. That did help me as well because I could see what I was eating, how much of it I was eating, and that kind of shifted me as well. And so now I'm not doing Weight Watchers, but I have those same skills that I learned from doing that.
And that's powerful there because, and I've said this again in the previous weeks, what worked for these ladies may not work for you.
Right.
Correct.
What you need to tap into is the learning and the understanding, because as they just expressed, they tried some things and sometimes they didn't work. Sometimes they did work until
Yeah.
they found out what worked for them. And I think that's the power of learning you and learning what works for you and how you do it. So Tanisha, tell me, how different is what you're eating now compared to when you first started that the journey and was doing the 4-3?
Okay, so right now it's simple, but it is time consuming. I am doing meal replacements with smoothies. So 2 of my meals a day. After I did wean myself off of the 3x4 plan, I was able to sustain it by maintaining smoothies for breakfast and lunch. And I knew that I could do that at school. I was on a teacher schedule, supporting teachers when I was being an instructional coach in the high school setting. So I knew that there was a specific amount of time allotted for me to eat, and I wasn't going to be able to go out and do those things. So that meal preparation, and then me just saying, I'm going to do these smoothies. So I would basically incorporate Smoothie King in my commute to work every day for 2 years. And now I just use my Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
According to YouTube University, I have
Come
the
on,
recipe
YouTube
down pat.
University.
So I'm avoiding the Smoothie King, but I am
Mm-hmm.
still using that meal replacement of a smoothie at home.
Okay. And what about you, Emily? How is your eating habits now in comparison to before you started your journey?
Well, for me, like I said, I have 2 small children. So the issue for me was how do I make meals for them? And they have to be quick and easy because during, of course, right now they're not doing sports and stuff. But at the time, it was like going off work, going to sporting events, going to practices. What do I do? I just started making healthier choices when I went to those
Yep.
drive-through places. So instead of getting a fried chicken sandwich or something, I might get a grilled chicken sandwich, or I might get a wrap, or I might eliminate the bread altogether. Just being conscious of what I am eating, even though it may be fast food. And that Weight Watchers actually kind of helped me with that as well, because it had those fast food places on there, and I could count my points of what I could eat.
So while she was doing that Weight Watchers and watching what she was eating, of course I'm listening. So I'm listening to her share how much this particular
That's what I do now.
French
I kind
fries
of
is. There she go.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you out, sis.
I was freezing on my bed. Okay, yeah. So with dish salad, yeah. So I kind of go back and forth. I do real foods. I don't eat a lot of fried foods at all. I stay away from that. I don't drink sodas. I drink sparkle water, that kind of water, so I can get that soda taste maybe or feel. But I stay away from all of the sugary drinks, and I don't do that anymore at all. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, it's so different when it's one thing when you're really trying to lose weight, and then it's a different type of eating when you're trying to maintain weight,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
forth.
Yes.
Because what I realized this week is I'm in education just like you ladies, and it's back to school like never before. No one has been in a place like this before, ever.
Right.
So I found it to being very stressful. I was up at 2:00 and I was stress eating, but I lost weight even in the stress eating because I weigh myself every day. It was what I was eating every day. So when I just wanted a snack, I went and got a handful of almonds, or I got some water. And so I was eating. I was eating to a point where I almost made myself sick. I felt like because I was like, I'm tired of eating. But I realized that it was stress. But I was eating healthy foods, and I don't do anything unhealthy in my house because I know that's still a trigger for me.
Yes.
Talk to me about what have you learned about your triggers and some of the mistakes that you've learned in this whole process.
Do not have Oreos in the house at all. I'm just going to go ahead and be the first to say Oreos are my weakness. My kids love Oreos. I stopped buying them. I can't buy them. I'll be very transparent with you during this pandemic, and went to the store and they wanted some cookies, and okay, so I got the pack of Oreos, right? Because I felt like, okay, I got this, right? Mentally, I ate the Oreos. Okay? I ate the Oreos. It took me maybe, I don't know, 2-3 days, but I realized I kept going back to that, going back to the cabinet. I'm getting 2, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just getting 2. That 2 turned into like 2 every couple of hours.
Right.
So at that point, I said, okay, no, I can't buy any foods that are a trigger for me. So what I started buying, I got rice cakes. I know it sounds boring, but the little caramel Quaker kind, that's my snack. I eat those. I eat peanuts and fruit. I like fruit. So I try to stock up on those things. Still give them their snack stuff, but I buy them the stuff I don't like. So that's what I try to do. Yeah. So
and what about you?
Well, when Sean goes to the grocery store, he seems to come back with only the snacks that he likes anyway. And our palates are quite different. So I don't eat it. He will make sure of that because he's a muncher and he likes sweets in the middle of the night. So even if I were to wake up and try to get some, he'd probably be standing right there saying no. So my snacks, really, you're not going to like them. I eat prunes. I love sunflower seeds.
No.
Nothing wrong with that. Prunes, they keep you regular. And then sometimes, I'm
just saying,
a bad relationship with eating, sometimes it's just the crunch and the
yes.
Yep.
So I get the sunflower seeds.
I get my fruits, of course, and cut it up, but it has to be cute. It just can't. It's boring just eating the piece of fruit by itself. So I make sure I cut it up. I put it on a little plate. I make it appealing. It's
girl.
I'm not saying I'm crafting the fruit. I'm just making it easier for me to get to and just instead of pulling it, because that seems like a task. But when I cut it up, it's like, okay, you're getting yourself a nice little treat. So I like granola bars as well. anything with peanut butter in it. Peanut butter has become my lifesaver. And most times I tell people, they're like, they're either allergic to it or they don't like it. I'm sorry to say peanut butter is one that fulfills me. So even if I do think, oh, I want something sweet or I want a snack, I might just go and get me a tablespoon of peanut butter and it heals that craving right there.
I'm gonna make sure I bring it on our trips, a little thing of peanut butter. Now that I know that, you know, I didn't realize it was that much of
what food shift when you start really being conscious about it. Like I love avocados and guacamole, and I can make guacamole in 2 minutes.
What do you? Okay, so what do you put on avocado? So I just add into the avocado. Be quiet. You said about your little peanut butter. I love it with lemon juice. I get some lemons, squeeze some fresh lemon on there, and just really some salt and pepper. Do you put another seasoning on it? Because I'm trying to spice it up. I need to spice it up a little bit.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you, this is a man.
Oh, look at my face.
look at your face. So if you don't want to chop up, you know, because in guacamole you have the avocados, you have the tomatoes, and you have the onions and all those other stuff. Get you some salsa already made. Get your avocados, smush it up, put your little salsa in it, and you get all the saltiness and everything that you need right there. And you have guacamole in less than 2 minutes. So I've just been trying it in different things. I like it just with a little salt. I'm really trying different seasonings to give a boost to my palate. But you have to figure out what works for you. I can eat the same foods over and over again. So you have to know what works for you.
Yeah, me too.
I can too.
We got questions? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
She wants to know, how long did you do the 3-4 diet before switching to smoothies?
Okay, so November 2016, I officially committed to the weight loss February 2017.
Yeah.
So I did this 3-day diet from that spring semester. I did not do it moving into like the summer that we were planning that vacation, but when school started back again, that fall semester until that December, I was doing that. And then it was like, okay, I have accomplished the weight loss. I have lost a large amount of weight. Now, I can't keep doing this because I'm going to definitely be too small. And I didn't mind being a thicker girl, and I don't mind it now, but I had to stop it. So probably I want to say 2019, I started full force with the smoothies, and I'm still doing the smoothies.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was Athens. Yeah.
Athens.
I think that was a medium shirt. That was one of my first medium shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! So, Flora, it's just it will depend on just where you want to see yourself. Sometimes on that 3-4 diet, I was losing anywhere from 6 pounds to 12 pounds a week.
Yeah.
A week. And 1 week I saw a 12-pound weight loss with just eating that particular diet for those 3 days.
And I think when I did it for those 3 weeks, I lost about 10, 15 pounds when I did it for those 3 weeks and was able to maintain that. That was the other key thing for me. And I realized like it really does work. And even though I couldn't, stay on that because it didn't really work for me long term, I do realize it did jumpstart the metabolism as well, and it works.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, it depends on your goals. Remember, this is a journey. You're not going to get there just overnight. It takes time, and this is a life commitment. Eating this, and good old South Carolina and North Carolina, you're talking about.
I'm trying to
greens and all that fatty foods and so forth.
But we know what that tastes like. You know what that tastes like. You've enjoyed it forever. That's why you tell Emily, you know what that tastes like? You don't want that.
She did. She did.
So, talk to me about just mindset. How have, because both of you ladies have been doing it. I know, Shanice, you said earlier, it's been over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, how long has it been, Emily, since you technically started your journey and been able to keep the weight off?
4 years, about 4 years. I started with my trainer about 3.5 years ago, going full out. So yeah, and I've been able to maintain that weight. I have not gone back. I was, just to be honest, I don't even think Tanisha knows this, but when I started out, I was weighing 300 pounds.
No, she never
I was
said.
the same size. I was the same size. I had my daughter in 2013. Okay. And when I went to the doctor, they told me that I was an obese, morbidly obese pregnant woman. And I thought, ooh, who you talking to? I was offended. But I was pregnant. So I was like, okay, whatever. But it wasn't until after I had my daughter and going back on that scale probably like a year later and realizing I was still 300 pounds. And I was just like, but people didn't think I was 300 pounds. I think that's what kept me in the comfort zone, because a lot of people were like, how much oh, you weigh 2 something. I'm like, if you
I
only
didn't know
knew.
They will
Yeah,
lie to
I
you.
never shared that.
They will lie to you. When I look at those pictures of my big man self, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I was walking around looking like this, thinking I was the ish. I was like, whoa.
Thinking I was the ish.
Wow.
Yeah. But because of the proportion, I do consider myself to be well proportioned. So people just, oh, you still cute. And I'm like, I don't feel cute because I'm 300 pounds when I step on the scale. That's not cute. So like, nothing about this is cute.
Wow. So what has been the mindset to keep you on this journey? Because that's really, it's hard because people do it. And I literally saw ups and downs for 10, 15 years. I mean, literally going from top weight down to, not what I thought was skinny weight.
Yeah.
But what has kept you on this journey?
With me, I would just have to say, my mindset with it is stay focused and forgive yourself, even if it doesn't go as planned that week. Like you said, Albert, you can eat the same things over and over again. I can as well, and it may get kind of boring. So those days, if you know that there are 21 meals a week and perhaps I messed up 4 of them, or I ate 17 out of the 21, I still feel like, okay, you got a B for that week. You did good. I don't beat myself up about not sticking to the plan per se, because it may change. I may have an attitude. My mood might, switch up on me that I do want those hot teriyaki wings, that 10 pieces and fries. But if I do it, I'm going to forgive myself for eating it. I'm going to make sure I do not include that within the next 2-3 weeks of meals, because you've already had the cheat meal. Go back to that. And forgiveness for me works. It works on myself.
Now,
for me,
hold on just a second, because we gotta explore this for a second. Because I tell everybody, I follow my friends' Facebooks. I may not comment on everything, but I will look and I'm seeing what's going on. Your boo lays it out. I'm just gonna be honest. It just the spread. I'm talking about the Lord.
Roll smoke.
Thank you, Jesus.
Roll smoke.
A full spread.
He sure can.
How do you maintain that? And you gonna be like off somewhere else. You be right there up in there with him. And I'm talking about, he looked like a grill master. So I'm just
most definitely so.
Most
definitely, he is the pit master. That is his passion, and he does it the best. Okay, so for him, these foods are smoked. So he's using wood. It's chicken, it's pork, it's beef, and I'm just simply the taste tester for most of it. I don't include the bread when I am doing the taste testing for him. But yeah, he helps when he cooks well, and he'll do it for us all the time as well. Like, he has all his toys. several different smokers, the grill, the egg, anything he wants to try, it's fine. But he knows we have to get away from him cooking brownies and things of that nature because that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had to figure that out because I inquiring minds want to know. I mean, how you make it happen and how you stay committed to the plan. And so
you also need to understand that those are paid gigs, so I can't eat the people's food that they paid for. He's getting paid for that.
You know the spouse get free food when come on, you know.
Not about that. The people be counting them bones.
I have pulled up and got me chicken. I love that chicken.
Here's a plate. Well, listen, I'm gonna come back to that, but can we get an invite at least once? I mean, I don't do a whole lot of beef. I'm gonna just
He's gonna start including some vegan options. We have a nice vegan friend, our friend T with Dish Palette. Shout out to T. So we're gonna try to start including some vegan options for some good folks.
Well, I didn't say I was vegan, but you know, okay, we'll figure out. I'll bring a piece of salmon he can throw on the grill or something.
I was about to say, now I've gone up there and I've gone to the grill, to the pitmaster, and brought my black bean burger to throw on the grill before. Yes. So, you know, that's how I know when I go to functions now, I got to make sure I have something I can eat. Because I know I don't eat pork. I stopped eating pork years ago. So I don't even eat pork. But, I got to sometimes bring my food with me. So I'll bring my black bean burger real quick.
So,
Heather, okay.
Now you tell us about what's your mindset? Because we're gonna share. I mean, can you believe we've been talking for 45 minutes?
I can't believe that. Yeah,
they go so fast, and I have so many questions, and then we got some other questions.
Okay.
What has been the mindset that kept you in this journey? Because you got 2 kids, and when you have kids and you got to feed them, and you eat differently than them in a lot of cases. How do you stay committed to the process?
I'll be honest, for me, I try to introduce my kids to some of the things that I eat. And so that has also helped. So even though they may not be into all the veggies that I make, and they tell me, now my kids are my biggest critics, so they'll tell me if the food is not good. For me, I just try to get stuff that I know I can eat. I'm kind of like you. I can eat the same things over and over. I don't care. I'll meal prep that baked chicken, and I'll have that baked chicken all week. That doesn't bother me. I'll get the 99% fat-free turkey, and I can do different things with that. So I kind of incorporate those things into their meals. So when they want to eat tacos, I don't buy ground beef. I'll buy the fat-free turkey. So we still eat the same things. If I make spaghetti, I kind of, again, trick them. I get the whole wheat spaghetti and then still use the turkey to kind of give it that same flavor. So I know that I'm getting what I need and I'm not overindulging. And they're also getting something healthier as well. So it's collective, trying to change all of our eating habits. I know they're not going to stop eating the sugary stuff, but I do not indulge in that. So it's really the mindset of I don't want to get back to where I was. So for me, I oftentimes look back at where I was, because Tanisha will tell you, it really took me a long time to get rid of my old clothes. Okay. That was a process for me to get rid of my old clothes. Because of my mindset.
So why was it hard for you?
Because I didn't see myself smaller. I didn't. So that has been a struggle, honestly, over the last couple of years, is seeing myself in that light. Because I would look at those pictures and think, that's still me. And Tanisha will be like, girl, you don't look like that. And I'm like, yes, I do. But I had to get rid of that 300-pound self. I think the other thing that shifted my mindset is going to stores and going shopping. I do love to shop. And so being able to go into a different section, not always going to that plus size section, that was the biggest thing. Because me and Tanisha will be on the phone and go shopping at different times, and I'll send her a picture. I'm like, girl, I got into an extra large, or I got into a large. So this motivation as well. And I know I don't want to be back in that place. So I look at the old pictures. I have to, because I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there.
And you have to be your biggest cheerleader. It's wonderful. I think the power in both of y'all's story is that y'all have each other. And so have your tribe, your sister, that y'all encouraging each other. And we're going to talk about it in just a second, y'all business, because I really want people to know what y'all doing, because I think the shift in mindset has also contributed to where you are and what's been happening in your life. So we got another question. Rhonda wants to know this question. She wants to know, how often do you ladies weigh yourself? Now, I weigh myself every day.
I'll be honest. I used to weigh myself a lot. When I used to go to the gym, I would weigh myself all the time. I'll tell you why I stopped weighing myself so much, because I realized the number on the scale didn't really fit with the clothes that I was purchasing.
Say that. Whoa, stop. That's the hardest part for people that's on the journey to get.
Yeah.
That the scale is only one aspect of what's happening with your body.
Yes.
So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's really it. Like, I stopped using the scale as a measuring stick, if you will, and in turn, I would go try on different clothes. So, when I was able to transition from that 20 to the 18, that was a big step for me. It wasn't a lot of numbers in the scale, but I mean, that just comes with more understanding and more knowledge about, body fat and fat mass and what that weighs, and muscle mass and the difference in that. So weighing yourself, for me, it was a trigger in my mind, right? Because I felt like, well, I'm big, still big, but I stopped weighing myself, because that will trick you. So I personally say, don't weigh yourself all the time. My trainer, what he does every week is he does measurements. So we take measurements around to see where we are and see what inches we've lost. It's the inches that really count. It's really not the number.
Look. T said yes. Because listen, I know when you put on that shirt, you take that picture and you like, bam.
Bam. I'm like, what?
Right. Listen.
The last time I weighed myself, it was January. 2020, and it was still at 186. I probably am not at 186 right now. However, those clothes still fit that 10, 12. I'm still tinkering right there, which is that healthy weight, and I think I'm okay with this, but I'm not wearing myself. I can't even tell you. It may be, a little over 200 or right at 200. I don't know. And I'm okay if it is. But I know it's not going to get back up to 280 or plus. It's okay. And I know if I do feel as if I have gained a little bit more weight, that those jeans aren't fitting anymore, that I know how to scale back and what to select to eat to fix it.
Right.
Now, do you feel like you're depriving yourself? Because a lot of people that when they really shifted their lifestyle, it kind of comes across. A lot of people feel like I'm depriving myself of things that I love. The food.
No. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay. I love parties. I love Waffle House. I love McDonald's. I love I love anybody that had anything to do with breakfast. I loved you. I love them biscuits. I was in love with it. However, and that was every day. That was an everyday love affair. So now within 30 days, I might be in love with those meals 3 times out the month. When I'm on that 3-4, if I'm on that 4 and I decide to have that breakfast with that biscuit, it's not every day. It's just simply, I am going to say I'm having this on Saturday. So that was my thing. We love breakfast over here. So on Saturdays, every other Saturday, I would have a biscuit. So I'm having 2 biscuits a month. I'm not having 7 biscuits a week. I'm not going to Crystal's telling them to put my cheese on
bread. I
love bread. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I have another question. Listen, I can talk to y'all. We got 7 minutes. Right? Fast round. So one of my issues that I went into was fear. And so I always was afraid that I'm going to gain the weight back. I'm going to, so I didn't get rid of the clothes because I need to keep them. Because it always comes back. What's your relationship to fear? Do y'all have any fear? Is that something that?
My guess for me is getting back to that point, and so I don't even know if that's call it a fear, but it's a reminder for me, more or less. So I don't find it to be scary, and that's why I had to get rid of the clothes, because the longer the clothes sat, it was like, okay, like you said, I'm gonna get back in them. No, I told myself I'll never. And it's what you tell yourself, those daily affirmations. I started writing on my mirror in my bathroom, you're amazing. Make better eating choices today. Like,
so you were with Gabrielle Union, where she wrote the affirmations on the
that was me. I took that. Yep, I got me some, and what I also did, just to put on there, I did it for my kids as well. And I realized every morning they wake up, every morning I wake up, get out that shower, and my daily affirmations are right there. Make better eating choices today. Eat better today. And I would think about that. So before I go get anything crazy to eat, I knew I needed to make better choices. But kind of like what Tanisha said, though, I don't eat McDonald's, but just with the fast food, like I said, get grilled. A lot of these fast food places give you grill options. I would always go for the grill option. It can still taste good. You can still go to your favorite spot, but you don't have to eat all that fried. You don't have to get the French fries. You can get the side salad.
Or you can get the French fries and just do it in portion control. And get the kids meal.
Yep,
get the kids meal.
Kids meals. Yep.
So it's not like you want it, and then you also have to think about, why do you want it? Why am I eating this? Am I eating it because I'm hungry, or am I eating it because something has triggered me? How am I feeling right now? How was my day? What was my mood like? Okay, do you really need the big Whopper meal, or can you be satisfied with a Junior Whopper?
With cheese and bacon. So listen, that's that protein. So Desiree is really interested in this 3-4 diet. So one of the things I'm gonna tell you to do, Desiree, is when you're learning, you have to do your research. When you're learning what works for your body, you have to do the research. But your second part of your question is really good. How much water do you ladies drink daily?
That's all I drink.
That's all I drink.
Now we've been at home with COVID. Soda pop. It has been here at the house, so she's.
What do you call it? You call it soda pop.
They say soda in the South, but I grew up in Chicago. I'm calling it pop. It's pop. So he loves orange Fanta, so it may be 6 liters of orange Fanta. I'm not saying I'm not going to drink any of it, but I have to monitor it, because those are my empty calories. Alcohol, those pop, any type of carbonated drinks that outside of water, it turns right into sugar, that turns right into fat for me. So I have to avoid it and just try to stick to the water.
Okay, so we got another question. Did you ladies journal during your journey? If so, what benefits did you see in it?
I would say my journaling came from the Weight Watchers. That was, I guess, more or less a journal for me, because it made me chart what I eat. Yeah, and we do also. We always have our book now. We keep writing, but I never really journal everything I ate, but as far as me, I didn't write down what I ate every day, because like I said, I ate some of the same things all the time, just different variations of chicken, different variations of seafood, different seasonings. So nothing really changed. As far as the water, though, I don't drink soda. And again, I'm from the South, so sweet tea is my Achilles heel. I love sweet tea, but I try to drink, maybe 1 glass every now and then, but the bulk of my intake is water. That's why I drink the carbonated water. So,
and let me tell you the benefits of water. Water flushes your system.
Yes.
It clears your skin. It regulates just the cells of your body. One of the things when I was at some of the top parts of my weight, my lips were really dark.
Oh wow.
And I remember one time my cousin asked me, "Do you smoke weed?" And I was like, "No, cause I don't have no problem with it." Now, hey, listen, that's what you do. That's what you do. That's just not my vice. I'm gonna have a conversation.
Years.
But what I noticed was when I started drinking more water, when I started paying attention to what I was putting in my system, my skin started clearing up, my lips started getting lighter and everything. Because I wouldn't be that old chocolate brother with the old pink lips.
No, we weren't having that, Coach.
But okay, wait a minute. We got 2 minutes. So y'all got to tell us what y'all have going on in your life, because the weight was just one aspect of it. I mean, y'all hit the scene, about 2 years ago when?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So yes. So I guess it all kind of, it goes together. Focus Minds Education Group, we consider ourselves teacherpreneurs, and we travel the Southeast region of the United States, and we provide mental health awareness workshops with trauma-informed practices for educators and professionals in the workplace. Like Emily said, when my grandmother passed, something happened. Something was triggered in me, and it changed my personality. It changed my outlook on life. And going to work, I gave myself so much to the education field, and I wasn't being fulfilled when I went. And I'm talking to her about it, like, this isn't it. And she was like, well, maybe we should just do this ourselves. Maybe we should just go out here. And then, I'm up all time. Sleep was evading me. I could not sleep at all. And so if it's 3:15 or 4:08 or 2:09, I'm calling Emily, and she's answering, and we just started talking and brainstorming ideas about how we could help, not necessarily with instruction per se, which is our wheelhouse, but if I am considering myself a very resilient person and going to work and not being fulfilled, and there's no one at work to help teachers. I'm a 2-time teacher of the year, so I'm used to people coming to me asking me these things, and I had nothing to give these people, and I wasn't satisfied with that. I'm like, well, if I'm feeling like this and there's no one to help me, and I know what I'm doing, so how can I help other people? So we decided to go out and start helping other people, not just for teachers and self-care, but to realize these children are also impacted by trauma. If this event traumatized me as such, it opened our eyes when we started doing the research and learning more about how to support our kids.
Yeah.
And we just thought it was a need, and so we wanted to shift the conversation. We consider ourselves a solutions-based company. That is in our tagline. And so when I realized my friend was going through something and we're up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we're not going to continue to talk about, what happened, or like I said, things we can't control. I decided, let's shift the conversation to create, to build, to do something different. And again, it was really bred out of helping other people. We really truly do have a passion for helping other people. That's what we love. I do sometimes miss my children, but for me, what made me step out totally and say, I want to walk away from teaching. Yeah. I had a student that passed away in 11, 12 years. I never dealt with that before. You have students go through things, but to go through that experience and go to this, to the house where it happened, where this, the child died, it was a lot for me. And it really did bring on some other trauma for me because that was her only child. And I said, I can't be in this space anymore because I'm depleted. I don't even have anything else to give. So I wanted to feel like, how can we support not only the students, but the teachers to have a better understanding of the students that they're serving. And so that's how we came up with Focus Minds Education Group, literally in the middle of the night, up all night, waking up, going to work, and we still were teaching, like still being productive, but this was in our mindset that this is what we wanted to do. So that's why we came with Get Focused.
I have so many questions that have just sparked out of just what you just said. But I can't. I got to be respectful of me. How can people find y'all? If people want to know and get help, because that's what y'all are passionate about, helping people.
Yes.
And honestly, when you transform, your light begins to shine, and part of the transformation is like, I want to help somebody else. So how can people find you ladies and get in contact with you?
Well, I'm the digital dinosaur, so I'll let Emily handle all it stuff,
We are on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, at Focus Minds EDU. You can find us there and get more contact information. Our website is focusmindsedugroup.com.
So it's www. Oh, you still here?
Which, I'm sorry, I did it. That was my fault.
Oh.
Say that last part again.
So it's www.focusmindsedugroup.com. That's our website. You can get more information about us, contact us, whatever your needs are. And so we're here to help. We're here to support. Right now, we're actually offering tutoring services for parents. If their student needs a little bit of tutoring in ELA and math, we have some certified educators on the tutoring team ready to assist. So they can reach out and get more information about that as well if they need some tutoring services.
Yeah. So
virtual tutoring services.
Virtual tutoring services.
Yeah.
So listen, as I always mention, all of these videos and interviews are go on my social media platforms. So you will be able to find this full interview on YouTube. I will next week take all of the videos down as they are in Facebook and push everyone through YouTube and repost them. So just be aware of that. And in the YouTube videos, you'll find all their contact information and how to get in touch with these ladies. And so I like to give and I like to assist. Everyone knows that I'm a certified personal wellness coach. So I'm going to offer all the parents that listen to this video, I'm offering to students 4 free coaching sessions for 3 people. Three students, and the coaching sessions will be centered around what mindsets do you need to be able to manage this period of time as well as be successful. What happens a lot of times with our students is no one ever listens to them and taps into who they are and what they need at this moment. So there's a different learning style that has to take place in remote learning that doesn't take place in face-to-face. In face-to-face, you got a teacher right there in front of you. In remote learning, it requires a lot of more perseverance, grit, growth mindset. And so these coaching sessions will support that. So I'm doing this out of my passion and what my mission is, which is to empower, to support, and see growth in not only myself, but others. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm passionate about it. People, you see it on Facebook and all the social medias, people are charging for things like this. I've done this series for free because I want to see people grow. And I know the power of transformation. These two ladies literally had a shift in their mindset. And as a result, they've lost combined over 200 pounds plus. And then that same empowerment, which is where I really wanted to go tonight, when I started listening, how that impacted them to step out of their comfort zone of their everyday job, everything that they knew, and take risk into doing something that they were passionate about. So I want to ask y'all so many questions. I really do. And the people, everyone is just loving the transparency, loving there's so many comments. This is absolutely amazing. Thank you for being so transparent.
Thank you, Desiree.
They just keep coming in. So definitely go back and look at all the comments. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. We appreciate it.
Coach Mark.
Awesome.
Yeah, so as the last 2 minutes, do y'all want to give a shout out to anyone, and what's your final words of advice and to give to everyone that's listening?
Well, I guess I will really say Definitely shout out to Focus Minds Education Group. This is we are here to service the nation with what we have, because now we know that everybody is affected most definitely by trauma. But I want people to understand that no one can treat you better than you treat yourself. So make sure you are trying to define who you are authentically, not who you want to be online, not who you want to post about. Is who are you in that deep, dark room when no one else is there? Can you be that person and still be happy and shine? So just pray about it. Pray about it. That's all I can tell.
Just pray about
Shout
it.
out.
Pray about it.
My mom, who's my biggest supporter, has been even stepping out on what I'm doing right now. She's always been supportive. My family has been supportive. My last thing, I guess, comment would be, you can't control how others treat you, but you can always control how you treat yourself. So treat yourself well, be resilient. We're all going to get through this together. And nobody's going to care for you like you care for you. And so that's the most important part I want others to understand.
Love yourself. Love yourself.
Self-care is not selfish.
Selfish is not selfish. Nope.
I'm so
Mark,
energized.
you've done an awesome job. Thank you.
You've done an awesome job. Yeah.
I tried to tell you no at first when you asked, because I was extremely nervous about sharing this stuff. But
then you said, let me bring my partner with me. You said, let me bring my partner with me.
Because we did it together, seriously.
And you know what? And I'm glad that y'all did, because I want people to understand, and this is probably one of the most powerful things tonight. When you have a sister, a brother, a tribe, a partner that's pushing you, you can sustain your goals. You can go anywhere you want to go and do anything you want to do. And I think the power in you two young ladies' story is that relationship. And you can see it. It's all intertwined. Just so many. We can go in. I'm gonna stop. But
I was about to say, because you're gonna make me get emotional now, and I'm trying to tell her not to get emotional. So let me.
And I did good.
You did good. So I gotta. Yeah. Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna speak affirmation into you, ladies' life. And I don't do this. I ain't gonna even say I'm a prophet. But what I do believe in is the power of positivity and the power of speaking into these people's life. So what I'm going to say to you is, because of your heart and because of the passion and what God has called you to do in this season, He's going to open up doors for you that are already in the process of being open, but they're going to be opening. So continue to stay true to yourself.
You'll make me shout.
Stay true to what God has called you to do and the purpose that He's put in your life, and listen. Allow your spirit to listen, because He's calling. Purpose is calling. Purpose is calling you. And it's an echo. And it's calling you. And it's an echo. And it's doors. It's calling you through doors. Many
Mark,
doors.
I wasn't supposed to cry.
No, I ain't trying to make you cry. I'm just telling the truth. So it's many doors. So you have to tap into your spirit to hear the call and be willing and bold enough to walk through the door when you hear the call. All right.
And not just bold enough, trust that the answer is already yes.
Oh gosh.
And to be honest, Mark, that is our testimony. We did not know what we were doing when we started this, and to this day during COVID, we have contracts. We have contracts through 2025. So this is amazing. So yes, it is very much so. Listen to God. Just tap in again. Just pray for that direction, and it will come.
Take that walk. Take that walk. My voice came through my walks. That's how I got my list.
Okay. We got to go.
Okay.
I'm so energized. I was so tired coming into this call, but I'm just so. I remember, and I'm gonna say this. I remember the day, it was about a month ago. And I think Rhonda asked about journaling. I don't journal, but when something speaks to me, I write it down. And so I literally broke down and I was in tears because I had this overwhelming call of purpose. And I know that I'm called to do something great, but this call was so overwhelming to me that I didn't know how to. It was taking over. It took over me emotionally, and so I was just writing random words, and words became affirmations and thoughts of power. So I feel that strongly for you ladies too, because, and I think I told you this before, Tanisha. I just know you're in the place that you're supposed to be. You're doing what you're supposed to do. So I wish the best out
Thank
of
you so much
for you and for your company. Again, it's going to be on all my social media platforms and their contact information. You need to, I'm telling you, you need to even talk to them about if you have kids that's really struggling in this time emotionally.
Yes.
With everything that's going on, they need some help. They need to talk it out. Also, too, you have connections to your schools, to your communities. What people are, what schools and what a lot of people are not addressing is the social emotional aspect of of our students and the impact of what our current environment is happening or is, the role is playing into their emotional life. So if you have connections to the PTAs and all those things, and these ladies can come in and do seminars and workshops and help you and help the community figure it out and how to best meet the needs of the kids. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it was true. I know definitely from T, because I worked with it, I know her passion, and I can see from tonight, Emily.